Okay, I'd like to then again introduce myself. Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow. This is our inaugural teleconference on December 29th, 2010. I would like to welcome all of you. This is very exciting, and Stewart and I have been all abuzz all day long because it's great to see the interest in people who really want to chat with him live or hear him tell the answers to all of your questions live. So it's going to be a great conference. He's been working very diligently, poring over your questions and sorting and figuring out which will be the most of interest to all of you. So with that introduction, I want to remind you that those who have the basic membership, you are always each month welcome to email in one question to Stewart, which he will answer. And those of you with the elite membership can ask one question on the phone. But because this was our inaugural one, we ask that you send in several questions so we have lots of things to keep us going. With that, I would like to introduce Stewart A. Swerdlow, and he will begin with some very interesting information for you.
Hi, everybody. It's Stewart here. And again, welcome you to my inner circle, the very inaugural one. I do want to start a little bit with current events because a lot of people have been writing in and asking about that. And so if any of you have read my news story on the website today, you know that I had mentioned a lot about, what would aliens think if they had seen what's going on in the world right now, what kind of reaction would they have? And for the most part, our planet is in a really sorry state with murders, kidnappings, explosions, wars, economic crises. As we end 2010, we're seeing all of the stories come to a big conclusion here, a big head, and it's really not a pretty picture. So unfortunately, we enter 2011 with a lot of issues and problems, and as I have mentioned for many, many months now on the website and in lectures, 2011 is an everything year. And what that means is every possibility, every opportunity, every event that you could possibly imagine will happen at one point or another, and that's both good and bad. So it can be economic disaster, there can be geological upheavals, which I know that there will be. As you know, no matter where you are in the world, the weather has been a big issue, even snowing in Australia during their summertime, which is absolutely unheard of. And, of course, in North America and in Europe, the weather has been very severe. And we will also see political events happening in 2011 that may be unexpected, as well as issues involving UFOs, space information that will be revealed. And, of course, as we go through each month on the Inner Circle, you will probably have questions on this, and I will respond to them. And I'd like to actually get started now with some of your questions because we have a lot of them that have come in, and there's a lot of you out there. You should know that on this teleconference call, we have people from all over the world, North and South America, Europe, Asia, and I do believe maybe even Australia. So we have a lot of continents that are involved in this particular teleconference. So welcome to everybody. It's really a global event. And with that, I'm going to get started. And what I'm going to do is I'll read the question that was sent in. I'm not going to say who sent it in or where they're from because that's private information. But I'll read the question, and then I'll give the answer, and then I'll go on to the next question. As things come up, I will also address that as well. So let's get started now. And these questions are in no particular order. As they came in, they were printed out and handed to me, and so I'm just going to read them in the order in which I received them. The first question is kind of a health question. It says, you've recommended infrared saunas and the energy or frequency absorbed. Is the energy or frequency absorbed from sitting by a fire equivalent, other than not coming from all directions at once? And my answer is that no, sitting by a fire, really the benefit is just getting the heat only, and it can actually activate pineal gland and programming, whereas the infrared sauna does permeate the entire body for healing, and it goes through all of the cells simultaneously from all directions. And of course, when you use an infrared sauna, you have to be very careful to build up very slowly so that, for example, on the very first day that you use it, you're only going to sit in the sauna at 98 degrees Fahrenheit for perhaps 5 to 10 minutes. And then daily, you're going to increase that amount by a couple of minutes so that ultimately you're spending 30 minutes at the highest temperature in the sauna, which would be about possibly 50 degrees centigrade or over 130 Fahrenheit for about 30 days in a row. And that will basically remove any illnesses, bacteria, viruses that are in the body and really get that healing energy going. So it's a very good opportunity. In fact, it actually can replace medical procedures, surgeries, and antibiotics, etc. It really is a fabulous way of getting well, and I do recommend the infrared saunas for those of you who have an ability to have access to that. Next question that I have is a very interesting one, and in fact, I've heard this question many times before, and I never really addressed it, I don't think, on my former Q&A, so here it is, and the question is it okay to put members of the Illuminati on the golden altar? Now, that's very interesting because, for goodness sake, how many members of the Illuminati are there out there? Quite a bit. And so the answer is yes. Bottom line is yes, you can put anybody on the golden altar if they are an issue for you or if you feel that person or group of people have reflected a mind pattern for you that needs to be removed. So absolutely you can. I would say, though, that in the beginning, when you're first doing the golden altar release work, maybe start with people, what I call local people to you, those who you know in your family, those you know for sure have created situations in your childhood and your lifetime where they have imprinted a mind pattern on you, an emotional set as well. And then you can put them on the golden altar. And then as you progress and family members and friends and people who are close to you have been released, then you can go on to a little more detail, a little more general, like political figures, the Illuminati, etc. But it's a very interesting concept. And in fact, one client of mine over the years came up with an idea that this person had so many people to put on the golden altar that she devised it the size of a soccer field or a football field, also in gold, and she just put all the people on there that she can imagine, hundreds and thousands of them, and released all of that into the violet flame. So be creative with your golden altar release work, and absolutely anybody can go on there. But always remember, no matter how many people you put on, you are the one who is last to be released in the golden altar. Next question, I think maybe a very general question, and that is there a way out of this reptilian version of reality, and what is that? Well, that's a very, very big question, and quite honestly, my entire work is based on that because, as you know, I teach about the reptilian mindsets, and we must also remember that humanity has reptilian DNA. So it's not really a matter of removing them because they are really a part of us. They are part of the half of the formula that created humanity on this planet. So to remove or get the way out of this reptilian version of reality, well, first of all, we have to remember that our mind patterns attracted it and helped to create it. So the bottom line of this would be that in order to remove this or change this, you have to change your mind pattern. Remember my analogy that I tell you over and over again. Thoughts are like film, the brain is the projector, and physical reality is the screen. So if you don't like the movie that's playing around you. You need to change the film, which is the way you think. So that's the bottom line of removing the reptilian version or any version of this reality from your experience. But the bottom line is hyperspace work and deprogramming, which are both very important these days. And as I mentioned previously, using the golden altar and doing release work, growing up the child within, because that may have imprinting of many different aspects of a reptilian nature. Of course, doing your oversoul work. All of these things combined will change the version of reality that you experience. And remember, you can create any kind of reality that you wish. Our minds are like a virtual reality machine. Whatever we put into it, whatever we plug into it, that is what will be projected out. And so we are responsible for everything that we have created in front of us. Next question. Very interesting one. This one comes from Asia. And this question says, very simple question, what is the technique of time travel? Yeah, simple question, but a big, big answer. So what's the technique of time travel? And that is, first of all, you must match the frequency vibration of the object, person, place, or thing that you want to send to a particular time period, and match that to the frequency vibration of that local time and space in that time period. So, for example, if you want to project back to the time of Christ, and you know that in the Middle East, in that particular time period, the vibration was such and such vibration numerically, if you take that number, that numerical vibration, and you vibrate the person, place, or thing in this time period that you want to send there, so that there's a match between what you're sending and where it's going, we know that every point in time and space is completely unique, and that once you match the 2 points in time and space with the same vibration, then there's an automatic transmission and attraction so that the two become as one. And there are different versions to this kind of time travel. For example, you can have a vehicle, like, for example, UFOs are really time travel machines as well. And if you vibrate that machine, that craft at a certain rate, it will disappear from the current rate of vibration that you're looking at, and it will appear in a rate of vibration that matches to what it's using now. So basically, that's how you accomplish time travel physically. Mentally, of course, I teach the green spiral staircase, which is a mental form of time travel, and you can go to any point in time and space that way. You can use mentally oversoul work, computer of the mind,